All right, welcome to our next notes video. We're talking about standard form today in high school algebra. Make sure you remember to date. And our essential question today is, how do we solve and write in standard form? So, first definition you need to know about is standard form, and we are referring to equations that are written like this. AX plus BY is equal to C. So I've written on the screen AX plus BY is equal to C, and A, B, and C, the three letters that I'm writing on the screen here, all must be integers. And what we mean by integers are 1, 2, 3, 4 whole numbers, basically. And the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. It will always have the shape of x in the coordinate form x, comma, 0. So if I were to draw a little coordinate plane, it looks like this. This would be an example here of an x-intercept, where it physically crosses the x-axis. So in this instance, it crosses the x-axis right there. So there's three key ideas that you need to know. Remember standard form, ax plus by is equal to c, where a, b, and c are integers, like we talked about before in the key terms. Remember that you can graph equations in standard form. So the easiest way to do this is to just solve for the x and y intercepts, and we'll do an example of that here shortly. And if we're going to write an equation in standard form, if we're given a slope and a point, it might be more convenient for us to write it in point slope or slope intercept first and then convert it over. So those are the key ideas that I have down on the screen. We're going to go ahead and do the first example. The first example is 8x plus 4y is equal to 12. I'm going to identify the x and the y-intercept of the equation. So on the screen, we're going to go ahead and write our equation. 8x plus 4y is equal to 12. First thing we're going to do is we're going to solve for the x-intercept. So we're going back here. Remember that the x-intercept is x0. So we are going to substitute in 0 for y. Get 8x plus 4 times 0 is equal to 12. So we'll write that down. And then we realize 4 times 0 is 0, so we're going to write down 8x is equal to 12. And then we make sure we write down, we divide by 8 on both sides, and we set x is equal to 12 over 8. So that is the x-intercept. Now the y-intercept is where we are going to substitute 0 in for x. So we wrote down 8x plus 4y is equal to 12. We're going to substitute 0 in for x, so it'll be 8 times 0 plus 4y is equal to 12. 4y is equal to 12. And then we're going to divide 4 on both sides. We're going to get y is equal to 3. So having those two pieces of information is important for us. So if we go sketch the graph, let's say this is 0, 3. This is 12/8, which is roughly 1.5. And then there's our line. So that's what the sketch will look like. So a couple important things to note on if we ever see horizontal or vertical lines. So whenever we see a horizontal line, that means that a is going to be equal to 0. We're going to see whatever value of b is equal to c. So in this instance, we're going to have a horizontal line that looks like this. And it's going to go through whatever the y-intercept is. Vertical lines is where b is equal to 0, and we're going to have ax is equal to c, and it's just going to be a line that goes through the x-intercept. So when we get asked to graph the following, so what I've drawn on the horizontal was just a horizontal line. So I have the equation 6y minus e is equal to 3 on my screen. I'm going to divide by -6 on both sides. And I'm going to write down y is equal to a -1/2. So if I were to graph this, it would be a line that would go through when y is equal to -1/2. Then my other one, 9x is equal to 27. I'm going to divide by 9 on both sides and get x is equal to 3. And that is going to be a vertical line going through x is equal to 3. Now, this last example is moving between the forms. We're going to write an equation of a line in standard form that passes through 3, -4, and -2, 5. So there are a number of different ways we can do this, but we're going to go through all three forms here. So the first thing we need to do is calculate slope of these 2 points. So we're going to do 5 minus -4 and -2 minus 3. And that's going to give us 9 over -5. Don't be scared of the fact that we have a fraction in here. It's okay. We can get through it. So now we have our slope. We can go ahead and write point slope form. Remember, point slope form is just y minus y sub 1 is equal to m x sub 1. So we have our slope is -9/5. And it doesn't matter which point we're going to choose. So I'm going to go ahead and choose -2, 5. So this is what I'm going to have for my point slope form. Now we're going to take that answer and we're going to write it into slope intercept. And you know what? I'm going to write that a little bit better. So if we remember how to do that, we were going to take this and we're going to distribute. We're going to have y minus 5 is equal to -9/5 x. And we're going to say this is 18 over 5 because 9 times 2 is 18 divided by 5. And we're going to add 5 to both sides. So my equation on slope-intercept form is y is equal to -9/5 x plus 7/5. Now how we get the 7/5 is 5 over 1 is really 25 over 5. So we could write -18 over 5 plus 25 over 5 to get 7/5. So now we do the final conversion to standard. And how we do that is we're going to take whatever we have in standard form, in slope-intercept form. First of all, we need to get rid of these fractions down here. So we need to multiply all of this by 5. And of course, whatever we do to one side, we got to do the other. So 5y is equal to -9x plus 7. And then the only thing we have to do is just add 9x over. So now we have it in the form 9x plus 5y is equal to 7. So that is how this is written in standard form. And to sketch the line, for that, we could, if we wanted to, find the intercepts, but we can also take advantage of the fact that we know our 2 points. So if we find where 3, -4 is, and -2, 5 is, that's roughly where we want that to be. Our line would look something like this. So hopefully you found this useful. If you have questions, just let me know, and I will see you at the next one.